I come from an era where everybody was able to drive any kind of categories in motor racing. That means Formula 1, that means long distance, that means saloon car racing. Even I can add for myself the Paris-Dakar, for example. Today you do a season fully and you concentrate only on the type of cars you're driving and the championship you're doing. So that limits the things. We were really less professional than even a young kid today. When you see in the Scirocco Cup, for example, in Germany, the speed they go, they are kids 16, 17, 18, whatever, 24. They go so fast, it's incredible. And they do it so professionally. It shows us like amateurs in a way. You know, we had no restriction to go to bed at 8 o'clock, no diet program, no special food, no nothing, no massage, no motorhome, no hospitality unit. But it was very romantic. Stirling is one of the greatest drivers of his era. He's one of the very, very few survivors from the era. His opinion is something, but I don't think the risk, it's a real pleasure. We had a limited consideration, as I said, about safety, but frankly, it would have been much wiser to race today, for sure, because life, it's not about having a short life, it's to do what you like, to do it safely, and to have a long life. The big moment has always been the Formula 1 Grand Prix. We have also the historic Grand Prix. And it shows all to the modern driver how difficult it was to drive these elderlies, these incredible, beautiful cars. And the interesting part, here we race with all these cars. It's not only a demo, it's not a promenade, it's a Grand Prix. You have 7 races where the driver goes flat out. Auto Union is quite a challenge. I did it a number of times. This car from 1938, 39. Basically what you have to know, it's a very powerful car. 8-cylinder, 16-cylinder, depending from the type. It's 750 kilo. It has very narrow wheels. It has limited brakes. A suspension, oh, it's not really that good. These cars goes over 300 km per hour. And it's not easy to drive. Even if you do it on demo, you have to be extremely careful. But the clue for that, of that unique experience, is that now I even have a greatest respect to these drivers like Brauchitsch, Rosemeyer, Caracciola. Grand Prix were 400 to 500 kilometers long at the time. No brakes assistance, no steering assistance, no protection. They were unbelievable. When you go to China, around Beijing, around Shanghai, wherever it is the curiosity to discover a new country and to discover the people. Because to discover something without the human aspect, it doesn't count. It's amusing, it's really amusing, it's really interesting to see the way Chinese looked at these cars that they never have any chance to see before. Curiosity, attraction, fascination for these kind of toys, surprises, and we are part of it. So, to go up there, yes, it's an enjoyment. Well, considering that China is one of the greatest countries on the planet today, in every aspect, not only because 5,000 years ago they were already leading the world with their boats, with their know-how. When we were still fighting with swords, they had already guns. Of course, automobile is new for them, but Having, for example, the Volkswagen Group and many other manufacturers coming into China, and knowing the independency you get with a car, it's clear that China it's a very successful country, and it shows everyone that you can have a kind of freedom. So motor racing will be part of it. It will have to grow because it's not part of their culture. But China is the place to be, that's for sure. And there is a place for motor racing in China. About Vanina, who did their job very well and was one of the fastest women driving long distance car, prototype at 330 km/h. She did very well because she did a job which is not made for women. It's a machist world, so it's difficult for sure. No, to be anxious, yes, you always are. Although safety has nothing to do than racing 50 years ago, yes, there is always a risk. And when she was racing, I have accepted a long time ago that she was going to do that, as my parents did. I think the life of my parents was a dreadful life on weekends because the danger was there every race meeting, so they suffer a lot. But I must admit that when she was racing, I was never totally relaxed, although I knew she was racing over another planet. Jim Clark as a man and as a driver, because if you don't have the two, it's not the same result. You have to be a personality. Maybe you do your job fantastic well, maybe better than the others. But if you don't have the correct human aspect and charisma around it, you miss the point. To me, Jim Clark was the man of my era, or was an example. I strongly believe that the success of your life is made by people you meet in your life. Everyone you meet can change a little bit your destiny, by a word, by a phrase, by an action. It's quite clear that what I own as successes in all kinds of categories, Can-Am, Formula 1, saloon car racing, Formula 2, long distance, I was surrounded by the quality, by people of high quality. It's clear if I drive in the Porsche team, that's what I did for 10 years, for example, the job is done before the start, in a way. You have a winning car in your hands. Up to you to finish the job properly. But you have to keep in mind that the driver is under the spotlights. Those are never under the spotlights. They do their job with passion and knowledge 100%. So the car they have produced, it's a group of people much wider than you thought, very big. Every single part of the car has been made right. And then with the right timing or the right destiny, you can drive that car.